My Life Between Lives story from Newton Train Institute practitioners.
I see a whole change in the thrust of searching for answers about who we are and why we're here. And I think it's wonderful, and I just hope the movement continues to expand.
Let us expand the universal consciousness together with a My Life Between Lives story presented by the Michael Newton Institute.
Yay! Hi, folks. When we're back again, it's Apple and me. And guess what? You remember I had said this is a special segment, it's a special episode. Why is it special? It's because I've been hosting this for the last so many episodes. And I'm very, very happy to say that now, who's going to share her story with Apple for the first time in my LBL story? It's me. And I'm so excited to share this space with Apple and to hand over this role of being the host of my LBL story to Apple. Welcome, 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 Apple.
It's an absolute joy to be here with you, Indrani, and thank you for your inspiration and guidance to bring me here. And I really follow your footsteps. And look at what you have done for LBL and for our community, for the globe, and your light shines through from afar. I'm very interested how you step into your spiritual power. When did you start your spiritual journey?
So my journey actually started when I was about 15. I remember this episode, this instance in my life very clearly. We were at a temple, my mother and I, and some members of the family. And it was time for the evening prayers, and there was this whole ambience of people chanting, the aroma of incense, the light, the sound of the drums and the cymbals, and all of that. There was a very different vibration there. And I just had this strange feeling, which now as a therapist I can say was this amazing expansion of my heart space. Now, what started then for me is continuing till now, because there was this connection, and I now realize that all the questions I kept asking about where do we go once we die, what happens to us, what's karma, what is afterlife, what is life between lives, what is reincarnation, all these questions, I started my journey then when I was 15, led me to attending classes on the Bhagavad Gita. I've even tried going and staying in an ashram for a while. There was at one time when I was very seriously contemplating, and I was in university at that time, that I want to quit what I was calling the three-dimensional earthly life, if I can use that term, and then just go live in a commune, more like a brahmachari, if that makes any sense, more of an esoteric life. But I think what fast forward life brought was one went through all other aspects of life, and one has continued to experience, and what it taught me was duality and the polarity of human existence. So you can do this and well do that as well. You don't have to give up one for the other. And there's so much of joy in knowing, and I'm talking 15 and I'm 57 today. So it's been a long journey for me, and I'm constantly discovering this balance, constantly exploring this balance of human existence. So yeah, my spiritual journey is still on, and it started then.
What a journey, 42 years. I'm not thinking, wow, I've got a long way to go and to catch up. Yes. So how did you came to know Michael Newton Institute and the LBL method?
So that's again a very mystic experience, Apple. I was in Mumbai in India, and I was attending the arts symposium. That's the Asian regression therapies seminar symposium that is hosted there by an organization called CLA. And in that, there was a particular segment, one presenter who is a member of the MNI. And I think at that moment she was a board member, and she was presenting there. Now, this is me meeting this lady for the first time. I have not attended the LBL session. I was just having a cup of coffee with her outside, and she was just talking to me. And there were a few things that were, interesting. One, we come from the same part of the country. Our mother tongue was the same. And I looked at her and I told her, I said, I'm going to go and train up. I have not read Michael's books. I hadn't seen Michael's videos. It was literally a 10 minutes, 15 minutes conversation with Savari over a cup of coffee, which made me take this decision that I'm signing up and I'm going to go and I'm going to study LBL. Now, I actually encountered Michael after that with the books and the videos, but I'd already decided I am going to go study LBL with MNI. Was guiding me. I'm sure there was something guiding me. I'm sure it was Michael guiding me.
Sure, something's guiding you. So how has LBL been different to your other modalities? And I've counted that you have more than 10 different modalities. You know, CBT, emotional management, and theta healing, Reiki, shamanic, yoga, or you name it, if you've done it. And I'm absolutely impressed and speechless about what you have done in your healing or spiritual journey and to develop yourself. You're an absolute expert. I'm like thinking, honestly, green apple towards all this, you know, our senior mentors here. So how does MNI or LBL method different from others? How does this method complement your other modalities?
So, Apple, when I studied integrated clinical hypnotherapy, and I'm very grateful to my teacher because he introduced me, and I really say this in all honesty, I'm deeply grateful for getting a teacher like him when I started my journey in hypnotherapy, because he opened so it's a very intense program. It's 6 levels. Those days when we studied, it was 5 levels in 2008. We were given a taste of LBL because we were doing past life regression very, very in a very structured manner. We were taught past life regression. And there were some of us in the past life regression sessions who were going into that realm between lifetimes. And it's not like you are planning it, but you're just going there. And you know how it is when you do past life regression. You've gone to a lifetime, but sometimes after death, the soul's moving into a realm, which is the spirit realm, or places where you're meeting your guides. Now, even in shamanism, we meet our spirit guides, our ancestors, our power animals. I have done other modalities, so I've also been encountering all the other divine beings in different ways who are guiding us from other lifetimes, other dimensions, other frequencies. Now, when I studied integrated clinical hypnotherapy, and I was also teaching it. Obviously, when you teach a modality, it becomes very strongly embedded in the way you study something, or you teach something, or you practice something. Then I did transpersonal regression therapy, which is with the Tasso Institute. Again, beautiful learning, getting into realms where you're literally following the soul's journey. So whether you're doing age regression, womb regression, past life regression, and beyond. Now, this and beyond is by default the LBL. You're going into the space between lifetimes, between incarnations. So when I studied Michael's books, I remember this very, very clearly. You remember that white book with blue writing which says Life Between Lives Hypnotherapy by Michael? I think it's a book that we've all studied, right? I remember rereading it on the flight from Dubai, which is where I'm based, to DC, Washington, DC, because we were doing our course in Maryland, if I remember, in a place called Bon Secours.
When was that?
In 2016. And I remember when I was rereading this book on the aircraft, I kept getting this feeling of a sense of knowing. You know that sense of knowing that you have? Yeah, I've been there. Yeah, this makes sense. Yeah, this is also familiar. It's the same feeling I had when I read Destiny of Souls and Journey of Souls. Not at a single moment did it feel, oh, this is a bit, what is this? That just never popped up. There was always a sense of knowing, a sense of familiarity. It's a lot like your veil has been moved and your soul's recognizing something as Indrani for the first time. But the soul already had this knowingness, if it's making sense. So when I encountered LBL, And I studied LBL with MNI. I was very lucky to have amazing classmates. We were in this absolutely gorgeous place, surrounded by the woods, amazing teachers. And throughout the class, throughout the course, there was always the sense of familiarity. That's the one thing. At no point did I feel this isn't making sense or I don't know this. It was always this feeling of, yeah, I get it. I know this. It's a lot like Indrani acknowledging something that the soul already knows. Now, interestingly, and Apple, this is a little trivia for you. If I'm understanding and remembering right, we were the last batch before Michael moved on into light. And I remember two very specific instances that I would like to share with you. We used to have a lunch break, and the woods were around the place where we used to study. So during lunch break, we were kind of, I would say, subtly encouraged to spend time with ourselves because you know how beautiful the course is, and this is in person. So you kind of cut off from the rest of the world. You're in this very beautiful space in nature. And I would go sit at a space from where you could see a meadow-like area, and then the woods would start beyond that. It was very beautiful. And I'm in a very urban space in Dubai. So for me, all this nature and greenery and woods it's heavenly, if I may say so. And I remember sitting there and having this moment, and this is a term I now keep using, having a moment. It was the series of moments of thinking, if I ever was really looking, what's my life purpose? I already found it now. I know what I'm doing. I know what I have to give and contribute to this existence in this incarnation as Indrani in this world that I'm born into. It's a lot like, thank you, Michael. Thank you, MNI, because that's what I'm getting and that's what I'm now going to do. It's this beautiful connection to your life purpose. And everything done that I've done till then, it was preparing me to get this cake. Now the cake's beautifully iced. We're ready to move. This is what LBL MNI gave me. I mean, I'm remembering so many of those instances. And so today, when I see Diana's my batchmate. When I see Travis is such a dear friend and a batchmate. Elizabeth, a beautiful batchmate, remembering so many beautiful experiences. Paul was our teacher. Rifa, Paul, Avis, Jimmy, they were our teachers. So all I can say is that there is something mystic here that happened then. And today in 2024, it's what? 2016 September is when we studied together. It's been 6.5 or nearly 7 years of this journey with MNI. And there's just one word for it, beautiful.
Your light, your beauty, you have that sweetness, energy within you. It's so contagious. I'm sure
Thank you.
That who studied LBL would agree with what I said. Well, you studied with Michael Newton yourself. Tell us who Michael Newton is in person.
So we never had Michael in class with us other than Michael's video. This is something that you possibly know, Apple, that Michael had stopped teaching towards the last few years. And we had his students teaching us, and there was so much learning that came. But I still remember when that video was shown in class, if I may use this term, Michael to me, if you ask me personally, who is Michael to you, Indrani? Michael to me is this teacher or mentor who I may not have met physically, face to face, in person. But in my heart space, in my soul realm, there is this huge sense of familiarity. Like, I feel we've all known each other in some lifetime or the other. We are like comrades who've come together in this lifetime to put our resources and energies together to contribute something. And Michael is the class teacher. And we are his students. So if I may use this term, it's sort of a mentor-disciple relationship. So it's like, it's your vision, but that's my mission. And whether you are in this physical space or not, in the energy realm, you're there with us, you're guiding us, and we're taking it forward with whatever we have with that integrity and knowing that we're doing it out of that love that exists in that relationship. And that is across time and space. That isn't in any dimensional way being measured because it's continuous, there's a simultaneity in it.
Timeless, spaceless is the work that we're doing. How do you see that this legacy being carried on, the impact that we can create for the future generations?
I think Apple, we're already doing that with the kind of momentum MNI has, has created. And in all humility, given the opportunity to serve, and I use the word serve with humility, in the public engagement forum, which you and I are both a part of, and being part of the advisory council, I think it's giving all of us as volunteers the opportunity to contribute, keeping in mind the kind of frequency the society is functioning with today, being aware of what the world needs, what humanity needs. MNI just has it. And I think we're putting together, we're coming together, we're being able to contribute so beautifully because it's so powerful. You know, when I was listening to what you were sharing, it's so true. We have a beautiful technique and a tool which we are weaving with other techniques and tools known to us, and we'll be able to offer that to humanity, to every individual, and enabling them to enable themselves to actually be able to function at highest and best potential that is respective for each individual. So as MNI and as an LBL facilitator, we are being able to harness all that which Michael has given us and gifted us, and then we're putting in our own resources, our learning, our awareness, and that's what we're giving back today to society. And there's so much that society can benefit, people can benefit from each of us in whichever part of the world we are in.